I'm also a proponent of whatever works best. Using nutrition to reverse disease is science, and it's extremely effective. It is not medicine, though. Medicines treat disease. They treat symptoms, but they don't reverse or eliminate diseases in most cases, while nutrition can.
Some people say that the statement food is medicine is misleading and that we shouldn't be talking about food in this way, that it can create the sense that, just switch to a plant-based diet and it's a panacea for all ills. How do we strike a balance between modern medicine and food as medicine? Because as you've clearly illustrated, you were able to halt and reverse chronic disease using food and nutrition, which incidentally, food is made up of chemicals, isn't it? And medicines are made up of chemicals. Food just happens to be in shapes and forms that we recognize, and obviously pills and potions and lotions by many are seen as unnatural, but ultimately, what is natural? Pills and potions are created by human beings, and plants and fruits and vegetables are made by nature over billions of years of evolution. But how do we address that? How do you address the sort of interplay between those two kind of ideas?
Well, that is my whole world, right? Because I am a Western medical doctor, and before that I did genetic research for years, and I am passionate about science and health and wellness. And I'm also a proponent of whatever works best. Using nutrition to reverse disease is science, and it's extremely effective. It is not medicine, though. Medicine will treat disease, but it doesn't eliminate disease unless it's an antibiotic. You got an infection, you took an antibiotic, you've now cured yourself with a medicine. But in general, medicines treat disease. They treat symptoms, but they don't reverse or eliminate diseases in most cases, while nutrition can. So if you want to optimize your body's ability to function properly, it needs the right nutrition. It's kind of like if you get, you guys have IKEA, right? That when you buy IKEA furniture, you have the instructions, and then you have the parts, and then you have the Allen wrench, right? Well, all of our cells have the instructions in our DNA for cellular repair and optimal immunity. The instructions are there. But if you don't have the Allen wrench and the supplies, your cells will be sick in spite of having the instructions. So then what do? Well, the cells are sick. We don't have supplies. Well, we can send in a medicine to try to force the cell to act in a certain way. But there's going to be side effects to that because those medicines affect multiple different systems. But that's what medicines do. We try to force the body to continue on without addressing the source or allowing the cell what it needs to repair itself. Hyper-nourishment, when we're supplying all the dark leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables, the omega-3s like flax and chia seeds, your water intake, all those things. Now you're sending in all of the supplies in the Allen wrench, and the cells go, oh, great, I know exactly what to do to build this. And so that's what I do is I oversupply all of those nutrients, and the cells repair themselves. I mean, for me, I had protein in my urine from kidney problems since I was 16. And as of 28, I have normal kidney function with no protein in my urine. All right. Now, if I had not taken medicines at 16, I would have died within 6 months. My doctors gave me 6 months to live when I was diagnosed with lupus nephritis because my kidneys were failing so rapidly. Since I didn't know about diet, it took 2 years of chemotherapy, high-dose steroids, and 6-7 other pills just to keep me alive. Right? The medicines worked to save my life. And that's what inspired me to be a doctor. Medicines can be life-saving. And even people in my program, I don't tell them to stop their medicines. I tell them to do the protocol to not need the medicine anymore. If somebody is currently extremely ill with autoimmune disease, diabetes, heart disease, I don't say stop your medicines. I'm pretty conservative that way. I say, okay, medicines can be saving your lives. Let's see how much we can reverse this process so you can minimize or eliminate your need for those medicines. And if you can eliminate your need for all medicines, wow, that's amazing. If you can eliminate your need for most of them or lower the doses of them and feel amazing, that's also great. Some people I see have been sick for 30 years or more. They've got damage to their organs. So they can't completely eliminate their need for medicines because those organs are scar tissue. They're not going to function again. So like a thyroid, I've reversed Hashimoto's and Graves' disease completely and help people get off their medicines. But if I've seen someone who has had Hashimoto's for 30, 40 years, they might lower their medicines, but they usually don't get off them because they don't have a thyroid anymore. Their immune system has successfully destroyed it. So, but they now no longer have an autoimmune disease. So they feel amazing and they just take their thyroid hormone. So I'm not saying that by using nutrition to reverse disease and optimizing your health, that there's no room for modern medicine or that people should be anti-medicine. I'm not anti-medicine. I'm saying that we should use everything we have and we should do what works the best. So when I put someone on a medicine to save their lives, right? Because if they don't have it, they're going to, that's it. We don't have time. I mean, you need time for cellular repair, even if it's weeks to months. Sometimes people don't have that. So even if I put someone on a medicine to help them with their symptoms or to help save their life, I tell them, let's do this right now. And then let's get you as healthy as possible. So maybe you don't need to stay on this. And that is always my goal. So I think there's room for all of it. I think that we need to do what works and what helps people the most. But I actually don't think of food as medicine. I think of food as how we actually repair and optimize our system, and as medicine as something that we need to temporarily or minimally use to save lives and to minimize symptoms.